So we have learned about addition of unlike fractions, and it's time to learn about subtraction of unlike fractions. So before starting, let me tell you, each and every step is going to be the same that we have discussed in the case of addition of unlike fractions. Whatever we discussed here, whatever steps we followed will be the same. The only difference lies is, in the case of addition we had this plus sign, but in the case of subtraction we will have this minus sign, and you will apply subtraction and nothing else will change. So if we have two unlike fractions, let's say we have 11 over 5 and we have minus 2 over 7. Okay, these two fractions are unlike fractions as the denominators are not the same, and as we had discussed here, in the case of addition we'll have to make these two fractions into equivalent fractions. We have to find the equivalent fractions of this one and the equivalent fraction of this one in such a way that the denominators should be the same. Doesn't matter what numerator is, the denominators should be the same. And to find that, the way is, the first step will be find the LCM of the denominators, that is 5 and 7. If you try to find the LCM of 5 and 7, that I leave you for your homework, for your work only. So if you try to find the LCM, this will be 35. Okay. Next step will be, the second step will be, you have to find the equivalent fraction okay, equivalent fraction of 11 by 5 in a way that the denominator is what? 35. So in order to make the denominator as 35, I'll have to multiply it with 7. 5 times 7 will make it 35. Since we have multiplied our denominator with 7, we'll have to multiply the numerator also with 7. That will make it 77 by 35. Third step will be to find the equivalent fraction of this. I have to copy this one to C to V. Equivalent fraction of this 2 over 7 in a way that the denominator is 35. If I multiply this denominator, that is 7 by 5, I'll get 35. If I multiply, and since we have multiplied 5 denominator by 5, we have to multiply the numerator also by 5, and this will give it as 10 over 35. The fourth step is to find what? To find the subtraction. So this is the first one, equivalent fraction for 11 by 35 by 5. So 77 over 35 minus this one, that is equivalent fraction of 2 over 7, that is 10 over 35. So this will be what? 35, and 77 minus 10, this will be 67 over 35. Let's take one more example. Let's take this was the first one. Let's take the second one. Let's take 1 over 8 minus what? 1 over 16. So the first step will be to find the LCM of 8 and 16. LCM. So if you try to find the LCM of 8 and 16, this will be 2, 4, 8, 2, this is 4, this is 2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 2. So LCM will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So LCM will be 16. Second step will be to change this fraction, that is 1 over 8, in a way that the denominator, you have to find the equivalent fraction. So let me write complete. So Control C, Control V, equivalent fraction, Control V, 1 by equivalent fraction. Okay, so have a space here. We will have. Okay. Equivalent fraction of what? 1 over 8 in a way that your denominator is 16. So by what number I should multiply 8 with so that I get the denominator 16? By 2. Now since we have multiplied our denominator with 2, we'll also multiply our numerator with 2. So 1 times 2 is 2 and 8 times 2 is 16. Right? Next step is the third step. And this is equivalent fraction of what? Of 1 over 16. If you have to find the equivalent fraction of 1 over 16 in a way that the denominator has to be 16, then we need not to multiply anything. Like if we can multiply with 1, but whether you multiply anything with 1 or not, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. So this is 6 times 1 and 1 times 1 is 1 actually. Okay, so this is the equivalent fraction of this one, simply. No need to change it, in fact. And the fourth one is what? 2. Subtract them. So 2 over 16 minus 1 over 16. If you solve it, this is denominator is 16, 2 minus 1, and you will get what? 1 over 16. So this is your answer. We have done exactly similar things what we did here in the case of addition. The only difference is after finding all those steps, finally you have to subtract from it. Finally, you'll have to subtract from it.